All right, let's do this. Welcome. We're about to build your entire game development toolkit completely from scratch. Seriously, by the time we're done here, you'll have every single thing you need installed, all set up and ready to go. You'll be ready to take those amazing game ideas out of your head and put them on the screen. So yeah, let's jump right in.
So, you're ready to build your first game, right? I bet you've got all these awesome ideas buzzing around. Maybe some crazy worlds you want to build, characters you want to bring to life. Well, that whole incredible journey, it starts right here. Getting your tools set up is like the very first, most important step. This is the moment you go from just wanting to make a game to actually being able to make one. It's a big deal.
And look, we're going to keep this super simple. We're not installing a million different things. There are just three essential tools that every single Unity developer needs. And we'll just tackle them one by one. I like to think of it like we're setting up a workshop, you know? First, you need a command center to organize everything. Then you need the actual workshop where all the magic happens. And finally, you need a place to draw up your blueprints. That's it. 3 things.
Okay, tool number 1. This is what I call the Command Center, and its official name is Unity Hub. And trust me, Command Center is the perfect name for it. Its whole purpose in life is just to manage, well, everything else. It's the place you'll go to handle all your different projects, and crucially, all the different versions of the Unity engine you might have. Getting this installed first, it's going to save you so many headaches down the road. It's the key to a nice, clean, stress-free setup.
So what is this thing really? Well, its superpower is managing multiple versions of the Unity engine on the same computer. Now that might not sound super exciting, but believe me, it is absolutely essential. Imagine this. You're working on a big project with a team, and it's built on, say, an older, really stable version of Unity. But then you get an idea for a small personal project, and you want to try out some brand new cutting-edge feature from the very latest Unity release. Without Unity Hub, this would be a nightmare, but with it, no problem. You can have both versions installed side by side, totally separate, no conflicts. It keeps everything neat, tidy, and stable.
All right, time for some action. Let's get this thing installed. Go ahead and pop open your favorite web browser, Chrome, Firefox, whatever you use, and just type Download Unity Hub into the search bar. The very first link you see should be the official one from unity.com. Click on that. The website's pretty straightforward. You're going to see a big, friendly Download Unity Hub button. You can't miss it. Go ahead and click that, and your download will start. Once that file is finished downloading, just find it in your Downloads folder and double-click to run the installer. It's going to ask you a few questions, but honestly, for now, just stick with all the default settings. You can just click Agree and Next all the way through until it tells you it's finished. Easy peasy.
Okay, so once Unity Hub's installed and you open it up for the first time, it's going to ask you to sign in. If you don't have a Unity ID yet, no worries. Just go ahead and create one. It's free. After you're logged in, you'll hit a really important step, activating a license. Now, don't panic. You're looking for the personal license. This is the one you want. It is 100% free. You can use it to learn, to build prototypes, and even to sell your games and make money, all the way up until you're making over $100,000 a year. So yeah, for pretty much everyone starting out, the personal license is absolutely the right choice. Awesome. Our command center is up and running. Now for the really exciting part, tool number 2, the engine itself, Unity. Sticking with our analogy, if Unity Hub is the office, the command center, then the Unity engine is the workshop. This is where the sawdust flies. It's the big, powerful piece of software where you'll actually build your game worlds, assemble your levels, animate your characters. This is where it all happens. But what is a game engine anyway? I mean, what does it actually do? Well, think about any game you've ever played. When a character jumps, something has to calculate gravity to make them fall back down, right? When light shines on a sword, something has to figure out how that reflection should look. When you walk into a giant cave, something needs to make your footsteps echo. A game engine handles all that heavy lifting for you. It's this incredible framework that comes with pre-built systems for physics, for rendering beautiful graphics, for audio, basically everything. It saves you from having to code an entire universe from scratch, which is just a massive head start.
So how do we install it? We're going to go right back to our command center, Unity Hub. So go ahead and open that up. Look over on the left-hand side of the window. You'll see a tab that says Installs. Click that. Now, in the main part of the window, you should see a big blue button that says Install Editor. Give that a click. This will bring up a list of all the official versions of Unity you can install. You're going to see a bunch of options, but what you want is the one at the top that Unity recommends. It will have a little tag next to it that says LTS. We'll talk about what that means in a second. Just find that recommended LTS version, select it, and then hit the Next button.
So what's the deal with that LTS thing? It stands for long-term support. Think of it like this. Unity is always releasing new versions with flashy new features, right? Those are kind of like the beta or experimental models. They're cool, but maybe not fully tested. The LTS versions, though, they're the battle-tested, rock-solid, reliable workhorses. They've been out for a while, they've had all the major bugs ironed out, and Unity promises to keep supporting them with fixes for a long, long time. So, when you're starting a real project, especially your first one, you always want to go with an LTS version. It's just the safest, most stable choice you can make. Okay, pay close attention here because this next screen is super important. Unity is going to ask you what modules you want to add to your installation. Now, by default, there's a box checked that says Microsoft Visual Studio Community. We need to uncheck that. Just click on the little check mark to make it go away. I promise, there's a good reason for this. We're going to install a different, better tool for our needs in just a minute. Okay, with that unchecked, now I want you to scroll down through that list of modules until you find one called WebGL Build Support. Go ahead and check that box. What this does is it gives you the power to export your game so it can run right inside a web browser. It's an awesome way to share your creations with people. So, to recap, make sure Visual Studio is unchecked and WebGL is checked. Then you can finally click Done. And just a heads up, this is a pretty big download, so it's probably going to take a while. Seriously, now is the perfect time to go grab a coffee or a snack.
All right, while that big Unity installation is chugging away in the background, we can be productive and grab our third and final tool. This is our code editor. So, if the engine is our workshop, the code editor is where we sit down and draw up the blueprints. It's basically a very smart text editor where we're going to write our C# code. And that code is what tells our game objects what to do. It's what makes the game come alive.
So, let's talk about why we unchecked that default option a minute ago. That program, Visual Studio Community, is actually really powerful. It's a great tool, but it's really built for Windows first and foremost. The tool we're picking instead, Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short, has one massive advantage: consistency. It doesn't matter if you're on a Windows PC, a MacBook, or even a Linux machine. VS Code looks, feels, and works almost exactly the same everywhere. This is huge if you ever switch computers, or more importantly, if you collaborate with other people who might be on different systems. It just makes everything smoother. Now, both of these programs fall into a category called an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. That's a fancy term, but you can just think of it as a text editor that's on steroids, specifically for writing code. It's like having a super smart assistant sitting next to you. As you type, it suggests how to finish your lines of code, it color codes everything to make it easier to read, and most helpfully, if you make a typo or a mistake, it underlines it in red just like a spell checker in a Word document. It just helps you write better code faster. And VS Code in particular has this amazing library of free extensions you can add to make it even more powerful.
Okay, let's get our last tool installed. Back to the web browser we go. This time, search for Download Visual Studio Code. Again, the first result should be the official one, from codevisualstudio.com. The website is smart. It should automatically figure out if you're on Windows or a Mac and give you the right download button. Go ahead and download that installer and run it. Now, during this installation, you'll see a few checkboxes. Most of the defaults are fine, but I really recommend you check the one for Add to Path if it's there. Then just click Next all the way to the end and let it finish. And that's it. You did it. All 3 pieces of your new Game Dev Toolkit are installed and ready to go. How awesome is that? We've got our Command Center, we've got our Workshop, and we've got our Blueprint Editor. So, before we wrap up, let's just quickly go over how these 3 things actually work together to make a game. So here's the workflow, nice and simple. First, you'll always start by opening Unity Hub, your Command Center. From there, you'll either create a brand new project or open one you're already working on. The Hub will then automatically launch the correct version of the Unity engine for that project. That's your workshop. Inside the Unity engine, that's where you'll do all the visual stuff, building your world, placing your characters, tweaking the lighting. But then, when you need to make something actually do something, like make the player jump when you press the spacebar, that's when you'll switch over to Visual Studio Code, your blueprint editor, to write the code for it. And here's how that last piece of the puzzle connects. Inside VS Code, you're going to be creating these simple text files that end with .cs. That just stands for C#, the programming language we use. The cool part is, the moment you save one of those files in VS Code, the Unity engine instantly sees it and updates. In the world of Unity, we call these little files scripts, and you can literally drag and drop these scripts onto your game objects, your player, an enemy, a treasure chest, to give them a brain. It's how you give them behavior. And that's it. Your foundation is officially laid. Your entire workshop is assembled and ready to go.
You now have the exact same professional tool set that's been used to create some of the biggest games in the world, from tiny indie hits to massive AAA blockbusters. There's literally nothing stopping you now except your own imagination. All the tools are installed, they're waiting for you, so the only real question left is, what world are you going to create first?